started pouring now. Here are all the trucks lined up. Start lining up back here, like 5 of them, to keep pumping and pumping, because if they stop, then you get a cold joint. You gotta keep pumping, it all the time. Load the truck up behind us, and then if you stop, if the truck gets delayed or in traffic, you get a cold joint. And that's when you see a line that runs down the concrete. And that's what you try to avoid. So here's a pumper truck right now. They're front load pumpers. You know, they come, it's a lot easier, and you can pump from the front of it instead of normally pumping from the back. They'll switch them back and forth, but you know, they prepared the pump early this morning, and they started about half hour ago, I'd say. You can see over there, it goes up and over into a hose, and it goes out into the forms, and they just keep going until they get to the level. It'll run all the way down the form, and it's a special mix. It's not as thick as your normal mix, because it has to be a little bit more soupy for it to run through and fill up all the forms. While we're over here, these are braces. They do 2 things. They're going to brace up these walls. There's a lot of weight that's going on this wall over here. So it's going to help support the wall. Also, what they do with this is they will shim the wall to make sure the wall is plumb. Because, you know, it can be off a little bit this way. So to level this off, they move these things around. They'll turn them like this, twist it like this, and then they can shim the wall back and forth. These things over here are just like little clamps over here that hold up and hold the wall all together, give extra support on here. And then they also are used so they can walk around, because they're going to walk around this whole thing, because you have to sit there with the pump, and I'll show you that over there with the hose that they're pumping it in. You look down over here, you know, you wonder, you say to yourself, you know, how does this work, you know, and you know, there's a concrete stick to these forms. As you can see, this sticks to the outside of here. So what would make it not stick to the inside form and give you a nice smooth wall? Well, they prep it. It's all diesel fuel. What they do is they run down and they'll run diesel fuel all on the inside with a sprayer, and they spray the whole the forms inside. It comes out a little bit on the bottom, and it creates it from sticking to the forms, you know, like this. So it makes a nice smooth wall, and all your ties that are all in here are all checked out and everything is good. Let's go walk a little bit further over there. As you can see over from this point of view, they're waiting to reload another truck. So the one guy on top is with a trowel, and he's smoothing off the top of the wall. The other guys are waiting. The guy with the bandana on his head, he's a controller. He's going to move the pump truck around the hose. So the other guy holds it and moves it to where he wants it to go, and he tells them, so they work in tandem. And the other guys have little shovels that'll move the concrete to keep it all going, while these guys are sitting there troweling it off as it gets hard enough. Once you get to a top point, you know, you stop and you keep moving along. So I mean, that's the way they're going to work on it all day. This should be here. This whole pump of pour should take about till 12, 1 o'clock. I think there's close to 110 yards of concrete in this foundation. Right now it is 7:35 in the morning. Also, while you're looking over there, you see the little blue things? I'll tell you about that. You see it's right over here? There's a little blue styrofoam that has, you know, little clamps on and stuff. Those are our beam pockets. Everything has to be laid out. So our beam pockets are all laid out perfectly for our steel to lay in. Yeah, perfect. That's a little blue styrofoam. So that's going to hold us for our beam pockets. That's going to tell us exactly where our beam pockets lay out. We have the depth that we need, so they're shimmed up just a little bit, and our width. And that works really well too. Our height's over here too. I'm going to show you this while we got it. These are all metal forms. You know, these are 3-footers, but you know, you can't have the same size, everything you need. 3-footer, 4-footer. So, you know, they're using 3-footers here, but our haunches over here for our stairs are actually, we only need them like at 2 feet, or 2.5 feet, for instance. So what they do is they'll sit there and they'll take some 2x, they put the 2x in, they'll cut it all to the height that we need, they'll set that down so that the concrete will pump over here and flow underneath and come up to our height. So that you're not cutting it, because you really want to try to keep the height you can, because if you have to cut this with the concrete, with the saws and stuff, it makes a mess. This will be a perfect pour, which we'll show you later on when they strip this all the footings out. And as you can tell over here, this is not going to be the height of the wall, but these are fillers, you know, and you can't have the same height for everything. So they'll just fill it in, and then they'll just make it all the way across, which will be really nice.